What's up everybody, how's it going? I'm Brad Dollar, welcome to the channel, it's great to see you. I've been shopping around, I've been looking around, I've been trying them out. I used to have one. I think it's time for a Gibson Les Paul. So many people I look up to, so many of the most inspiring sounds I've ever heard, they all happen on a Les Paul. And I think they're one of those instruments that holds a strong potential to actually be full of songs, or as I like to say, to be haunted. At the end of the day, for me it was important not to just walk into a guitar store and settle for whatever they had because it felt great, but to really find the right guitar that I'm going to keep for the rest of my life. So come along with me as I take these both out of the package and show you what it's like to actually order a guitar from Sweetwater, what actually comes in the box, and what the overall experience is like. Without further ado, let's go. All right, let's see what we got. Box number one. So right off the bat, actually, I know this is like super annoying that I'm going to stop right here, but on the bottom of the box, it says Happy Gear Day. And I'm always into packaging, and I think it's really important to start an experience for whatever the end person enjoying whatever that experience is right away.
Oh, you got this shoe.
Anything, like take everything really seriously, especially when it comes to music. The way you're presenting to people is important, and the way you start their experience is important. So shout out Sweetwater, that's pretty cool. Anywhere that they can improve upon a box is welcome. All right. Watch their 55-point inspection videos or whatever, like what goes into those. They've got this super awesome foam fitting machine that like makes the foam actually fit the box. So that's why it's in these weird shapes, but it's also super useful if you buy and ship and sell gear and stuff. You can use this stuff as well. So we're just gonna kick that over there. And then this is what's inside. You packaging in there, the same kind of like expanding foam packaging box, and that's it, it's ready to go. We got an Epifoam back here. I'm just running over with this box.
Complete and utter spite.
Let's see, what is the best way to do this? Do this. Oh, special. Yeah, the box is sweet. All right, we got some security tape. So this one reads, for my records and for yours, this is a Gibson Sugarbucker Les Paul Standard 60s. And these are both Sweetwater exclusive guitars. Now the reason I picked these, I mean, Sweetwater's dope. I'm super excited to have got this from them. Shout out Craig, thank you so much for your help, really appreciate you. I wanted to get a guitar here in Nashville. I want to go down and like get one and try one out, but I don't just want to settle on one I pick. Like, oh, I found a perfect sounding guitar, but the finish isn't what I want, or the vibe isn't what I want. Like all that stuff's important. I'm gonna look at this thing for the rest of my life. So I found two finishes that I love, and if the guitar is awesome, then it's great that they're finished like this. This is the one that I think I might keep, and it's like a, it looks like a greenie clone. It's not a greenie clone. It's not the Kirk Hammett model, which I seriously considered buying. It just has that feel, and so, but it is in a case. Nice case. Now I know some of you guys are really knowledgeable about the cases and where they're made. You can probably already tell where it's made if you are one of those people. I'm not. Nothing else in the box, just really good packaging. Really good packaging. Before we get going too far, if you can do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe and the like button, I'd super appreciate that. Seriously, it does a ton to help me make these videos, get instruments like these in the house to try out for you, and just keeps the channel going all year round. So thank you so much for doing that. Without further ado, let's go. Oh, the smell. The smell, I missed the smell. Nice. Comes with this nice Sweetwater little insert right here, letting you know that they did in fact check it out and it is the guitar that it's supposed to be, and there it is. You're literally seeing this before I am. I'm letting the camera see before I let my own eyes see it. So wow, there we go. Wow, look at that thing. I mean, that is beautiful. It's way more honey-y than I thought it would be. It's way more sunbursty as well than I thought it would be. What are you barking about? Look at that thing. Oh, I could just sit here and smell that all day. Wow. So right away, beautiful guitar. I need to tune this thing up, but this thing is just spectacular. All right, so what we have here is a 2024 Gibson USA Les Paul Standard in the 60s style from the Sweetwater exclusive collection, which in this case means they actually get a maple top picked from the same pile that they pick the custom shop tops from. And then they have their Sweetwater Sugarbuckers in here, which I think that all that means is that they're underwound. It seems like Gibson is really good at having dealer relationships where they'll make guitars special for them, and they wind all their own pickups right here in Nashville, right next to the Gibson factory, so they're able to make little custom modifications. The main holy grail pickup for a Gibson Les Paul is the PAF style pickup. There's a million videos out there about why they're so special, but that's kind of like what everyone's going for when they're trying to get that classic tone. Kluson tuners, I thought it was Kluson for a long time, but it's Kluson. I love those. I didn't want the Grovers. I know those are probably better, but just classic. Great mahogany neck. mahogany back. I think it's a two-piece maple top, semi-aged hardware like the tip. I mean, not the actual chrome. That's all like brand new looking. That's it. 60 style knobs. Great neck. Great neck. I don't like the baseball bat style necks. All right, so that's guitar number 1. I'm gonna go put it back in the case. Okay. See, this is what I'm saying. Check this out. Happy Gear Day. Love that. I love that. Now this one out of the box is really, really pretty. So exact same specs. This is called Tobacco Burst. Now there's so many different varieties of Tobacco Burst. I think what makes it a Tobacco Burst is like how much red is in it next to the black. Just one of the classic Les Paul colors. Now my first Les Paul ever, my 2009 Les Paul standard traditional Les Paul Classic Traditional Pro Plus, whatever the Guitar Center spec of this guitar was at the time, it was also this color and I loved it. And that's why I got this. This is a mahogany neck. They're both mahogany necks. This is also their custom shop maple top. The flame is totally different than the other guitar. Not a bad way, just a different way. Now maybe I'm just excited because I'm getting to get a new guitar and every part of it is just super fun. But I've noticed that, especially as I played both, that I guess some of the buffing, that's not the compound, but like lint is coming out of the guitar. Not like out of the cavities, but like almost out of the grain. It's just like as that's happening, like the smell of nitrocellulose is like wafting through the air. The first day when I sat down with both, where I just couldn't put either of them down and I was playing back and forth, I was wearing a t-shirt very similar to this. It might have been this shirt. I've washed it since then. I changed it and it smelled like nitrocellulose. The shirt smelled like nitrocellulose. My hands did, and it was honestly awesome. But I did notice that. So you can tell for sure these are like new guitars. So that's this guitar. Again, basically the exact same. Tune them up and see what they sound like. Alright, so it's been a few days since I've had the guitars, and I've had more than enough time to sit with both, play with both, and this has been one of the best things about having guitars shipped to your house to try out. You get to wake up and one of the first things that you see are the guitars you're trying out. And even better, you get to play them right away when you wake up, which I think is a great way to really get a sense of whether or not you connect with an instrument. I had them both out the same amount of time, but there's one in particular that I have kept gravitating back to. And this is the whole reason I wanted a Les Paul. Don't get me wrong, so many other instruments can give you that feeling of being inspired by them, but there's just something about mahogany, maple, and a pair of humbuckers that does something so corny and tacky to say, but magical. It's also fun to break it in. Every time I play it, it feels a little bit different and a little bit better, which makes me realize like a lot of the reviews you see on Gibsons are immediate first reactions to how they feel and play, and I just don't think that they're meant to be like out of the box perfect guitars. I think that like they're meant to be broken in. Maybe the newer types of models like the Dave Mustaine V are a little bit different or should be looked at differently, but these older historic models, it's just like an old pair of boots or jeans or something like that. Like they're built in a historic way where they need to be worn in and broken in. That's just kind of how they were designed, which is why relicking and the Murphy Lab exists, so that you can get a pre-worn in instrument. If you don't have the ability to have instruments shipped to your house, if you can go to the guitar store you're checking out an instrument at, several times and really get a feel for it, I think that'll give you a better beat of what instrument is actually right for you. And if I've learned nothing else through this process, you should just trust your gut, because I had a pretty good idea of which one I was going to love online. And then when I got here, I tried to not love it as much as I thought I was going to and still gravitated back towards it. So just trust your gut, and whatever your heart and your soul and your playing is responding to, that's the instrument you should get. Last but not least, I also just want to say that I'm incredibly surprised by how different these two instruments are. These were both made in August of 2024, just a few weeks apart. And both guitars are basically identical. Mahogany body, maple top, the same type of PAF copies. And except for the paint, it's pretty much the same thing on paper. But they couldn't sound more different. And even outside of their sound, the feeling I have about both of them couldn't be more different. One sounds incredible acoustic, but then when you plug it in, it's missing a little something. And the other one sounds okay acoustic, and you plug it in and everything is there. One sounds incredible at the bridge position, but the other two positions are okay. And the other one sounds phenomenal no matter what position you're on or what volume or tone setting you're at. So it could just be me, it could be my playing style, and I'm sure whoever gets this other Les Paul I just tried is going to love it. But it really goes to show that you have to try the instrument that you're going to buy. No matter how well it's described or how much you trust somebody who's picking it out for you, you have to go and try it. These aren't like vintage guitars where it's like, oh, there aren't a million 1973 Gibson Les Paul customs, so even though there actually kind of are right now and sort of want one now that I've been hunting for Les Pauls, but I digress. It's not like you have to spring into action for a single instrument the same way you do for like vintage and used instruments. If there's a vintage or used instrument you fall in love with, like you better just go ahead and buy it because it might not be there. But if it's a new instrument and it's currently in production, or at least if there's a few different ones of the same model you can try, you should definitely try them, play them, and get a feel for them. I knew that going into this, but I haven't bought a brand new guitar in a long time, and I was reminded of that as soon as I got into playing these and feeling what they were both about. All right, so let's wrap this up. Which guitar did I pick? This one. I really tried hard not to like it. I tried to go against my intuition. I don't know why, but I tried to like the other one more. The other one sounds amazing, acoustic. It's got the bridge pickup is so hot and just tasty, but this thing just does something really special. At first I was a little underwhelmed because the bridge pickup on this was like just not the sound, but then I raised it ever so slightly and all of a sudden it just unlocked this guitar in a special way. If I don't plug it in though, I still feel so connected to it. It's doing the thing that I wanted this new guitar to do. Whatever I got, I wanted it to pull things out of me that surprised me. It's just making me come up with new ideas, and it's making me want to spend more time with my instrument, which is really what we want from guitars. We want them to keep us in them because there's something special about playing guitar. You know it as well as I do, if not better, that when you go into the place where you're pulling songs and ideas, and even if you're just practicing, you get in the zone, like there's just nothing like that. I'm sure like Runner's High or something like that is kind of what it's similar to, but you're going somewhere so special. And so if an instrument can take you there and can take you there like at a moment's notice, then why not have that close at hand? And so that's why I've picked this Les Paul. Now, both are great. If I didn't get this one and I just bought that one, I probably wouldn't know any better and just go along with it. Like, oh, this is great. But hearing them back to back and hearing how different this one is and feeling how much more connected I am with it, it just seals the deal for me. In this case, I had the option. And so if you have the option and you can try guitars out, you can go feel different ones out, definitely go and do that because you might be surprised at what you discover. I love this guitar. I hope that it stays, you know, busy. I hope that this guitar sees a lot of songs come out of this guitar, and I'm gonna put this in the hands of every single person I work with. I want them to try it, play it, and see what kind of songs come out of them. I'm grateful to have this in my life, and this is corny and no one paid me to say this, and there's nothing in it for anybody for me to say this, but like really I'm proud to own a Gibson right now, knowing what the company's been through and knowing what went into this instrument, even though it's mass produced, not a custom shop. I know they made a whole bunch of these, but just knowing what went into it and being able to feel that on the other end is really special. And I'm grateful that I get to live in an era where you can just get one of these right off the shelf, sent to your house, try them out, keep the one you want and send the one you don't want back. That's really special, and I will never take that for granted. So thank you for joining me on this journey. I look forward to making many videos with this guitar. I hope this helped you on your Les Paul quest or whatever guitar quest you may be on. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again. All right, bye-bye.